Hello. I don't want this one to drag on. This will be a very quick one. I'll probably re-upload it as a video so that it actually gains some traction. But I wanted to go through the ROM hacks that I've played recently, or over the span of the channel's life, and rank them, because I like ranking stuff. Pokemon Yellow Legacy is a strictly better than vanilla one. I played it all the way through, and I played it all the way through again, so it's going to go up into replayable. It's just Pokemon Yellow, but with better availability, some better movesets, some better changes. I don't quite remember all of them, because they're very subtle, but I was able to run a team of, like, Hitmonchan, Beedrill, Hypno, and, like, Pinsir, like, the Glupshitters of the game. And they were all, like, significantly better than vanilla, which is, like, one of the most important things to me. Overall quality of life, I don't remember very much. You get, like, the old rod sooner, I guess. So you get Poliwag. Kind of epic, I guess. But overall, it's just yellow plus. It's not very significantly changed. It's not changed enough. I mean, it's better than the original, but, like, it's not really... I don't know if it's worth playing if you're looking for a new experience, I would say. Because it's literally just vanilla plus. This would be the Kanto expansion pack, which I have never replayed, but I do think it is better than the vanilla Pokemon games for sure. The big draw of this is that it introduces a bunch of Pokemon from future generations and from the cut, like, Space World demo of, like, Gold and Silver and, like, RBY. This was made by Plague Von Karma. Shout out her. She doesn't exist anymore. I found that out trying to look into this, but she's gone. Reduced to atoms. Now, it's a very good ROM hack. The only issue is that it's a vanilla plus, so if you want a lot of features, they're not there. I do remember specifically that, like, a lot of the imbalance of Generation 1 is left intact with all the new Pokemon brought in, so, like, you get, like, a Alolan Persian, who is, like, insane. It's a dark type in Gen 1, which is really good, and then it has, like, Night Slash for auto crit. And it still has, like, the crazy move pool it does. So you get, like, auto crit, slash, and Night Slash. And Bubble Beam for, like, anything that resists it. It was really fun. The only thing is, it goes out of its way to be kind of cheeky about making some Pokemon unavailable. Like, you don't get Annihilape until Cinnabar, and you don't get Melmetal until the Pokemon League. Which was done on purpose, because they wanted to be consistent and include every Pokemon, but they wanted to be spiteful and not make all of them, like, easily available. But it's just vanilla plus. You get to play as green. That's always a nice boon. This was Pokemon Evolutions. I couldn't finish it. It's really vanilla plus in, like, the worst ways. Like, it runs incredibly slowly. Every animation, like, using any item requires an animation. I'm going to be honest, I couldn't even get to the point to where they introduced other Pokemon evolutions, because the gimmick of Pokemon evolutions is that every single Pokemon has at least 2 more evolutions, and I could not get to a single one. They introduced more Pokemon and more routes, you can have, like, Growlithe and Magnemite before Rock Tunnel, but it's literally just vanilla plus, and it just runs so slowly, because it's a vanilla game. I played it for Fire Red and Leaf Green Day, and it did not really jive at all. But you do at least have rare candies. So you can sell those and then buy items, so you don't have to keep making trips back to the Pokemon store, and you can actually catch Pokemon. Radical Red. Tentatively, the best ROM hack. People really hate this in the modern day. It's been, like, 5 years now, so, like, it's moved around to being contrarian. To where you, like, shit on Radical Red because everyone talks about how much they like Radical Red, and I understand that. It's a little annoying that whenever you ask for a ROM hack, the first thing someone moves to is, oh, go play Radical Red, when it's, like, it's not that great. But it's, like, I think it is that great. I just think that most people don't jive with it, and I understand if you play it at the default settings, I wouldn't jive with it either. But since it's come out, they've added easy mode and minimal grinding mode, and I think that the combination of those leads it to be a very, very fun ROM hack. If you turn the experience share off at the start, and then you play on easy mode with minimal grinding, you'll always stay on par with enemies in level, and you'll always have the advantage of setup on your side with your better stats. So it's really just about fully utilizing whatever team you want, and almost any team is completely doable. I think if you play it that way, then the only unfun section of the game is like, I'd say once you beat Blaine, there's not much more to do that's fun, but like, I don't know, man, 20 to 30 hours of a ROM hack that can be done over and over because of how fun the pacing of it is pretty good. There's a few awkward sections. All of the Team Rocket stuff tends to be pretty poorly balanced for some reason, but maybe that was intentional. It's definitely designed around a ROM hack setting, or a Nuzlocke setting, and if you don't Nuzlocke, it can feel awkward, but I still think like item progression, evolution progression, ability progression, like the way that the game is paced so that at certain checkpoints you keep unlocking more things to make your team more powerful as time goes on is really well done. Like, you're gated off from like U-turn until the second gen gym, and your pivoting moves are like are some of your most important moves in this game. So it's like that's pretty fair all on its own. And then like you have to get to Vermilion on New Game Plus to get Megas, which is a major power spike for you. Then you have to get to Celadon to get access to a bunch of TMs, and then you have to go over to Saffron to get the move tutor house, or the training house that like customizes your IVs and EVs and gives you the ability items. And then after that you have to get to Fuchsia to get the Safari Zone encounters, which are like some of the most powerful Pokemon in the game. And then when you start getting more and more important boss battle items like the Assault Vest and the choice items at Cinnabar, it's paced like really well up until you beat Blaine. Pokemon variety is obviously literally every Pokemon. You get to use Dynamax for wild den battles, but you get to use Megas for main battles. Z moves are in the post game, and there's no Terra. Personally, if this just had all 4 gimmicks available to you, I think it would actually just be perfect, but oh well. I do think it's slightly overrated in regards to the fact that like it probably isn't the best ROM hack for everyone because it's going for something specific, but like I think anyone who says like, oh, Radical Red's overrated, it's dumb, it's cringe, probably just hasn't played it recently or didn't engage with it in a way to try and jive with it. Crystal Legacy. I never beat it because it just runs like vanilla speed. I don't like Crystal. I gave it a chance though, and it did seem better. Like I think you get Houndoom at the start, which is always nice. For some fucking reason, they decided to throw it in Kanto. No, I would rather use it for Johto. Now, me personally, right? This is Crystal Clear, which is going in better than Vanilla. I think below the Kanto expansion pack. It's just open world Crystal, and some of the boss battles are harder. That's about it. I think the ending is slightly different. Instead of the Elite Four, you fight simulations with the Elite Four for some reason. So, okay. If you do Kanto or Johto first, the other region is an actual region, and it's not a boss battle, like Brush, which is nice. You can be different trainers at the start. That's cool, I guess. You have a bunch of starters. That's nice. But overall, it's just Crystal. But you can start at Kanto. The open world aspect of it doesn't really contribute because you have to Metal Gear Solid dodge like really powerful trainers, or you get fucking wiped out. And the trainers that do scale kind of defeat the purpose because it's like there's no sense of like progression if you can just go anywhere. The open world side of it is actually the weak half of the ROM hack. It's more so just the fact that Kanto and Johto are both like good and there's good Pokemon diversity everywhere. That makes Crystal Clear very well done. This is Heart and Soul. It's a lot better than Vanilla Heart Gold, I guess. it didn't add enough like quality of life. Like there's no day-night cycle changer, but there are day-night encounters. There's no rare candy cheat. And like the level curve is still super low and super slow, so it's kind of annoying. Emerald Legacy, I did not finish it, but Emerald is like a really good game just on its own. It's one of the best games in the franchise, so I just put it at the top here. I got to Mauville with Watson before I stopped because I just wasn't enjoying how slowly it runs. But it's not like Romhack hard where it's like you have to deal. I guess we can get into that with like Royal Sapphire. Like Royal Sapphire is like sort of like a Radical Red-esque like Nuzlocke type game that's built around that difficulty. So you have these really tough boss battles sprinkled in. So you get into these weird modes of like fighting trainers that have like these gimmick sets that make them like take forever and are like kind of hard, mixed in with like random scrub trainers, and you get into this weird sense where you never get into a rhythm of how to approach a battle. Because if you play it the same mindset for all of them, some battles are just like way too easy. If you try to go for like the speed up, it just kind of like ruins the vibe of the game. Like, I should specify, by the way, most of these, the reason a lot of the crystal ones do badly is because I try to approach these without speed up. The older generations run too slowly. This one is Emerald Imperium. I couldn't finish it either. It's Radical Red-esque, but the boss battles are just really harder. And I'm really bad at games. So I wasn't having fun, and when I was in the middle of my playthrough for Emerald Imperium, I noticed that Lazarus 2.0 came out, so I stopped it, and I've just never had the drive to go back. I need to, and I would recommend this one. I just never personally finished it, but I mean, I could tell that if I would have gotten through to the end, I probably would have liked it. Like, I think I had just unlocked Mega Evolutions. I just didn't have any Megas to really use. Pokemon Infinite Fusions, I did not. I didn't like it. Infinite Fusions is really funny for all the like really cool sprite art you can get from the game. There's like the person who did the artwork for it is. You have to go to the server, a Discord server, to get it. So you'll see the artist there. I would recommend supporting them. They do really good sprite work for the fused Pokemon. I mean, we can just look this up. Pokemon Infinite Fusion. Yeah, like, look at these creatures. And you can do it for literally anything. Oh my god, that's terrifying. You can do this for anything in the game. That's the main draw of it, and the artwork is really well done. But as an actual game, it's just, like, kind of worse, like, heart goldified red. It's kind of off. This would be Heart Gold Generations, which I also didn't finish. The issue was more of a technical one on the emulator side. It like ran like shit. It would constantly keep running into like the missing texture issue. The frame rate would dip really terribly anytime I was in the overworld, like outside of an interior. And for some reason, I just like couldn't get through it. It turned me off really bad. Also, there's an issue where if you play on anything other than Desmume, it literally just crashes at the Elite Four. So this is here because of technical issues. Once it gets resolved, it'll probably be good. And then I never finished Renegade Platinum. Renegade Platinum. It's basically Renegade Platinum, but there's no men. All Pokemon are female only, and that's literally the plot. It was funny though. I think I'm using the thumbnail for that for this stream. It's certainly a ROM hack. You get like a Ralts as your starter, and it evolves in like one level. And it's like, okay, I guess I'm missing something, but it was an interesting thing. And then Lazarus, which is like actually the best ROM hack ever. Lazarus introduces its own region. It does it in the style of Crystal, but on the Emerald engine with more modern things. So you have like a cheat system that you can use to bring in like a bunch of rare candies, nuggets, battle items. You can cheat in certain Pokemon that are difficult to get. You have like a wardrobe system, so you can wear different outfits that you naturally unlock, or you can unlock them with cheat codes. You have a portable PC you can unlock, but you can also unlock it through the collecting Pokemon in the game. You have a berry store where you can buy all of the mints that change your natures. You're able to buy ability capsules and patches, which do that. And like Radical Red, the game is paced in such a way as to organically continue giving you new things to customize your team as the game goes on. What you have available at the start is just editing your stats, so assigning your 252, or what is it, your 510 EVs? And then your IV distribution, which you can freely customize at any point to do hidden power natures. And because you organically unlocks the Dex Nav, and you can use a cheat code to unlock all of the sites on the Dex Nav, team building is so easy. There's overworld Pokemon that you can see, so if you see a Pokemon that you haven't caught yet, you can catch it for the Dex. And it's actually worth catching for the Dex because you get rewards from the professor for catching things. You can get, I think, the loaded dice. I want to say the Rocky Helmet. I don't, maybe not. You get a TM, and you get the starter Pokemon from him if you don't cheat those in. So it's like, there's actually like a really well organic pacing to Lazarus of like why you should continue doing more and more. And if you play on hard mode with the level caps on, you're actually going to maybe have some issues with certain gym leaders. You have to go out of your way to avoid setup whenever possible. Avoiding Pokemon that use setup and then playing on hard mode with the level caps on is probably like the peak way to play the game. But you can run into the issue of Pokemon like Mimikyu who are designed around setup, but then once you always set up, like, it just gets a little out of hand. In general, if your Pokemon doesn't naturally learn something like Swords Dance, you probably should not put it on a Pokemon or else it'll break it. You need to avoid things like Cyclozar Shedtail. The AI just literally cannot handle it. And literally any time you use it, you just guarantee yourself a sweep. A lot of Megas are broken. You can have Mega Mile by like the third gym. The fourth gym, I think. It's crazy. But at the same time, you can just choose to use the Pokemon in like a suboptimal way. There's that freedom. I think a good example of this is like if you really want a strong Pokemon, your starter Froakie can have Water Bubble. And if not, I think you can get the ability capsule by like the second town. And like Water Bubble is just an insane buff to Froakie. Like you're dealing stab and then you're water bubbling it. So as long as it's not neutral, it just dies. But on the other hand, Protean is nerfed. So if you use Greninja with Protean, you don't get to freely switch between types anymore. So it's like, depending on what you want to use the Pokemon for, if you just want it to be like a choice specs surf spammer, you can do Water Bubble, but if you want it to be like a utility Pokemon, you can put on stuff like Shadow Sneak to type change into Ghost to ignore normal moves. It just depends on what you want to do. Overall though, Lazarus is by far the best. I might not re-upload this because I know that like no one will probably go play these. But if you take anything away from this, please go play Pokemon Lazarus. It's so good. Alright, short little mini